door. It represents the door to the cell that Alice Paul was in after being arrested for protesting at the White House for women's suffrage. And in that jail cell, she was force-fed when she engaged with her colleagues in a hunger strike. But she kept on fighting. She fought for the 19th Amendment and won, and then turned her attention to the Equal Rights Amendment and wrote the original version. Virginia is proud of our history. And this year, as we celebrate the 400th anniversary of the longest continuous representative democracy in the Western Hemisphere, the arrival of the first recorded Africans to our shores, the arrival of the first recruited English women to Jamestown. That was the birth of our nation. And the tenets, the basic tenets of our democracy were penned by a Virginian, Thomas Jefferson. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. He didn't mean me. He did not mean me. Because I'm of African descent and because I'm a woman. But my ancestors fought, marched, filed lawsuits, died to give me the right to vote and stand here today as a member of this body. Now, some of the arguments that have been used to keep my ancestors out, we've heard alluded to today. And the parade of horribles that we've heard is not going to happen because the Equal Rights Amendment puts us on a level playing field. Litigation under the 14th Amendment made clear that if you have a compelling state interest and you have a measure that is narrowly tailored to meet that interest, you can distinguish between people of different races, national origins, and religions. Women have had to use a different set of rules, an intermediate standard. And it is a lot harder to prove discrimination on the basis of sex, whether you're a man or a woman, than it is to prove discrimination on the basis of race, national origin, or religion. And yes, this amendment is for men and women. Make no mistake about it, because no one should be discriminated against on the basis of sex alone. And I will say there are some women who are strong enough to do whatever is demanded of them in the military. They're doing it. And there's a member of the Jennifer Caucus on the other side who went through VMI. I'd be proud to be in a trench with her anywhere, fighting to protect this country, knowing she has my back, and I know she could do it. Mr. President, we had a bus tour, and I had the pleasure of seeing someone I hadn't seen in a very long time when we were at Virginia State University. He was my Sunday school teacher at a small church that my dad pastored, Martin Harris. He's 101 years old. And he got up late one night and he said, I was 6 years old when the ERA passed. I don't understand what's taking so long. It's time. It's time. Sarah Moore Grimke once said, "I ask no favors for my sex. All I ask of our brethren is that they will take their feet off our necks." What the Equal Rights Amendment does is it will say that the full weight of our government will not be used to discriminate on the basis of sex. It is time. It is well past time. And wouldn't it be poetic justice if Virginia, that so many times has been on the wrong side of history, so many times, as the capital of the Confederacy, as the birthplace in one of the largest slave markets in the country, as the leader of massive resistance, late to ratify the 14th Amendment, late to ratify the 19th Amendment. Wouldn't it be poetic justice if this year, as we celebrate the 400th anniversary of women, Africans, coming to Virginia and the first representative democracy in the Western Hemisphere, we should be the 38th state to ratify the ERA and finally bring truth to the promise that we are all created equal. And that's why I ask you to vote in favor of the resolution. Thank you.